Hey everyone, Tim here from CubicKing77.com, here to do a full review video of the People's ROM on your Sprint Samsung Galaxy S3. I'm very excited to show you guys this ROM as it's actually a ROM that I have ran on my original Epic 4G, the one with the keyboard, if you guys are familiar with that. The Kenny Glass 123 did do a ROM for the original Epic called the People's ROM as well. So again, he does a great job with this ROM, so should be a very smooth, stable, quick ROM. Again, shout out to Kenny Glass 123, good friend of mine, for putting this ROM together. I have a video showing you how to install it. I can link to that in the description. First of all, for those of you wanting to get wireless Wi-Fi tethering going, what you need to do is go to My Files and go to SD card and then select that latest APK file that you downloaded in my how-to video. I linked to it in the description of that video. Check unknown sources, hit OK, go back, install it once again, and hit install. You need to install it separately. Shout out to Trevi for getting this modification going for us. But if you do want Wi-Fi hotspot, I will link to the APK in the description of the video to install that file, just like I just showed you. Otherwise, you get 3 launcher options: TouchWiz, Apex, and Nova. I was on TouchWiz at the moment. We can try out Apex, made to look like potentially the stock Jelly Bean kind of, except this one's a little bit different actually. It looks like it's a modified Apex launcher. You'll see home screen horizontal. You got a button in the middle that's just themed. So the button in the middle is themed. That's a little bit different. But you've got downloaded widgets as well, all horizontal. And then you have Nova, which is, again, very similar to stock Jelly Bean launcher with just added tweaks. So whichever launcher you like the best, I'm going to stick on TouchWiz Home just for now, just for this video. I like switching it up and using various ones at various times. So it's kind of up to you. Right away, though, you'll see on the lock screen, you got a nice Spider-Man wallpaper there, so very cool. I know Kenny Glass is the friendly neighborhood moderator over at the XTA forum, so I guess that is why he has done that. Otherwise, another nice, cool background on your home screen. These are all default. You can change them, of course. Go into our app drawer. You'll see some application icons are themed. Not too many of them, but you'll see the Facebook app is themed, the icon is themed, the Play Store it's called the Market still. You'll see the messaging application icon is themed. Other than that, that's just about it. Sprint Hotspot icon is themed as well. But otherwise, you'll also notice that it does have some theme differences up at the top here. You'll notice that it has more of a ice cream sandwich jelly bean style look to it with the icons. With you'll see my Wi-Fi icon there. I'm actually tethered to my Note 2 at the moment, but you also see the signal icons. You'll see a circle battery modification where it lets you know the percentage, and the clock is in the middle as opposed to the right side. Pull it down. You'll see up at the top you got some toggles. Those are scrollable. You'll see you can scroll those. There's 15 options. You can edit those. I'll get to that in a second. You have options for brightness as well. Up at the top right, you'll see this icon that will actually clear all my notifications as opposed to the clear button being there. He has moved it in the upper right hand corner to clear all, which is great because sometimes you'll mess with the auto check button when you hit clear. And you'll see settings as well up at the top. Notification panel is transparent, so you can see through it. It's a little tinted, but you can see right through it. See, it says People's ROM down at the bottom, but overall, very clean style to this notification bar. I can swipe away that notification. You can swipe them away. And of course, it is Jelly Bean, so you can pinch in and expand those notifications. I do want to go into settings. And you'll see the settings menu, all the icons on the left are themed as well. It's not just one specific color, it's just different icons that are all various colors. You'll see you have a Wi-Fi tether option right in the settings. So that would be how to get tethering going. You can just go straight into that option. Again, you need to install that Wi-Fi tether app first before this will work. Otherwise, it'll actually force close settings if you click on it before you install that application. You can go to About Device, 4.1.1 based on the latest over-the-air update, LJ7. See, it says the People's ROM under build number. It does have a 4-in-1 reboot modification, so when you go ahead and go to restart, you have the option to reboot, hot boot, download, and go straight into recovery mode. I do want to make a note, when your screen is locked, the home button does not turn on the screen. You have to use the power button. I believe you can change that modification. You'll have to check out the ROM thread if you want to learn how to change that so the home button does turn on the screen. Press and hold the home button, brings up your recent running apps list. As always, you'll see it as a little themed. Got a nice blue look to those icons down at the bottom. You can clear all, swipe away specific ones, go to Google Now, which I can actually try out because I am tethered. What's the weather like in Phoenix, Arizona? It's so cold here in Illinois that I just like to tease myself and just look at how nice the weather it is in Arizona. I'm so jealous. If you are in Arizona watching this video, I'm jealous of the weather you guys are at. It's freezing outside today. Walking to class was so cold. Otherwise, though, different things about this ROM. It does have, when you are on 3G, it has a 3G 1x notification. So if you're on very slow data speeds, it will switch to 1x as opposed to the 3G icon being up the top. It has some ad blocking. There's a pop-up browser option as well. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate the pop-up browser. I'm going to go ahead and go into my messaging application, and I did send a test text message. I'm going to go ahead and click on the link, hit open URL, and you have an option to use the browser or pop-up browser. So I'm going to select pop-up browser, hit just once. Once that pops up, you'll see it has a little icon, little square that pops up that is the browser itself. And it's right over the application, so you'll see it's right over my messaging application. You can scroll, you'll see it opened up my website, zoom in, go to different links. If I wanted to open up another link, it goes to that link right in the browser. And you'll see we do have a back button. You can also type in a new URL within these pop-up browsers. And also, if I want to go to my messaging application, I can open it on up and send another text message while the pop-up browser is there. I can also back out of the messaging application, go home and go to my app drawer, go to another application, all while the pop-up browser stays there. So you'll see that is not going anywhere. You can exit out of it. You'll see you can press the X, or you can go ahead and hit this arrow and it will open up the full browser as well. So if you find a website that you really like, you can go ahead and press that full one and use the full screen instead of the pop-up browser. So that is a fantastic addition to this ROM. Alright, and so also in regards to these toggles, you can go ahead and change those. I don't know if they're in the settings. Well, let's go ahead and check it out. Go into display settings, and they are. So you'll see quick panel settings right there. Select them. You can change which buttons show up. So if you don't like some of them, let's say you don't use your Bluetooth, uncheck that. Airplane mode, uncheck that, and they'll be gone from up there right away. It doesn't take time for them to go away. They go away instantly. Also, you can change the order of these buttons. So whatever order that you like to see them. They change instantly as well. Let's go ahead and try out the flashlight. I always like to test that one and make sure it works. Working just fine, so that one's working great. But great that you can change the order and the which buttons show up on your quick panel settings. I also wanted to make a quick note that you can change the lock screen from the stock TouchWiz lock screen. You'll see the stock one where you swipe, or you can swipe away from applications to quickly go into them. You can change that to the Aosp lock screen, which would be the one such as from the Nexus 4 or the Galaxy Nexus. And we can go ahead and scroll all the way down, not all the way down, halfway down. You'll go to lock screen. Under lock screen, go ahead and go to lock screen options. And up at the top, you'll see enable Aosp lock screen. Check that. Once checked, you can go ahead and go into it, and here it is. So here's our new lock screen. You have an option to go home, to go to the camera, or Google Now. So you have those various options. Let's go ahead and quickly go into the camera. So here is the camera. Again, the stock camera application. Most of you are familiar with it. Also, just a quick note, within this camera application, you can go ahead and go into settings and scroll down, and you'll see shutter sound. You can turn that off. So there's a setting within that. So when you press it, you'll see it's not making any noise when I take a picture. If you noticed that before, so you can shut that off manually if you do not like it to make a noise when you take a picture. I know I personally don't. Also, it includes a custom kernel that can be overclocked. So if we go to Tweaker, we go ahead and go into this application, which is included within the ROM. You can change voltages as well as CPU speeds. If we go into the general options, we should be able to change those CPU speeds. So you'll see max 1512. You can go ahead and underclock them if you'd like to save some battery. So yeah, it allows for that support just with this application, which is fantastic. Make sure you are careful when you mess with these kind of settings and you know what you're doing. Otherwise, you have voltages as well. Things can become unstable if you don't mess with these properly. So again, be very careful when messing with those kind of settings and make sure you do know what you're doing. You also see there's a bit of a different music application added, a Walkman application. So I don't have any music on my device at the moment, but you'll notice it has tracks, albums, artists, playlists, and other various things. It does still include the stock music player, in case you were wondering there. The phone application is themed. You got that nice kind of Aosp theme dialer. It's got that black and blue look to it. Looks great. I believe it could potentially be from my Jelly Bomb ROM. Don't hold me to that, but I believe it could be from that. Otherwise, that's just about everything I did want to show you. Nothing else out of the ordinary, but overall a very great ROM to try out. It's very quick, very smooth. Everything seems to be working very well. All these tweaks are great. It's definitely a ROM you might want to consider running. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Just leave a comment. Be sure to subscribe to me as well. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. All links will be in the description of the video below. And as always, thanks for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up.